Manchester United were much improved over the second half of the season, giving the fans renewed hope that perhaps next season they can challenge for the title and maybe give Liverpool a run for their money. If they are to do that, Rob Dawson has identified 3 transfer targets that could help them in their plight. Rob, let's start with one that you've picked to get the goals for them, Timo Werner. And I see that you're ruffling a few feathers here because we all know that he is a Liverpool transfer target.
Yeah, a well-known Liverpool transfer target and obviously a well-known target for Liverpool within the walls at Old Trafford as well. You know, the people that do the recruiting at Old Trafford know full well that Liverpool are very keen on him, that possibly he would like to go there as well. But until that deal is signed, there is still hope for United. They do need to revamp their forward line. It's an area of the squad that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has identified as one that needs strengthened. Timo Werner is a goal scorer. You know, he scored 30 goals already this season, so the chance to get a few more before the end as well. And that's what United have been lacking. They sold Romelu Lukaku last summer and never really replaced him. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has gone with Anthony Martial for much of the season, but he does need to inject some goals into that squad from somewhere. And there aren't many proven goal scorers around. Timo Werner fits the age profile of the kind of player United are looking for at 24 years old. You know, he's the type of player that they feel can come in and improve at Old Trafford, get even better than he's shown in Germany already. So, you know, it does look likely that if he does leave, he might go to Liverpool. United are well aware of that. But until that deal is signed, there is a chance. You know, maybe Ole Gunnar Solskjaer would like a different type of option to the one Timo Werner offers. You know, maybe a more physical player, someone who can lead the line, win aerial duels and headers. But again, there aren't that many players like that around. And if you're looking for proven goal scorers who are available in the next transfer window, Timo Werner is one of those.
And is he more likely to walk into a starting position in the United side than he would in the Liverpool team?
Well, again, I mean, that's an interesting question. You know, a lot is made of Liverpool's front three. They are among the best players in the world, all 3 of them. And obviously, it's not working out too bad for them with the players they've already got at Liverpool. So, Timo Werner is the type of player who could walk into any club in the world and would expect a challenge immediately for a first team place. I think if you were looking on the balance of things, would he get into the United team more easily than perhaps he would at Liverpool? You know, you'd have to say yes. But again, that may be a decision for Timo Werner when that decision finally comes. Does he want to go to Liverpool and try and challenge that established front 3, or does he want to go to United and maybe start straight away? You know, unfortunately for United at the moment, if he's banking on going to a club and winning things straight away, you'd have to say that Liverpool is a better bet at the moment. But, you know, United are building something at Old Trafford, a young, hungry squad who they want to challenge for the Premier League title in the Champions League. And, you know, maybe Timo Werner fancies the challenge.
You're staying a little bit closer to home for the next player that you've picked. It's Jack Grealish, who's had a great season so far with Aston Villa, although Aston Villa have not had a great season themselves, and that could definitely help any club that is looking to get a player like Grealish, couldn't it?
Yeah, and that is certainly something that United would look at. You know, beyond what's happening at Aston Villa, Jack Grealish is a player that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is a huge fan of. He has known all about him for a very long time. He played particularly well for Villa at Old Trafford this season and scored a fantastic goal. There was an inquiry made in January about his availability that obviously was dismissed very quickly by Aston Villa because he's their key man. But that's not put United or Solskjaer off. And again, you know, Solskjaer is looking very clearly to revamp that forward line. Having spent a lot of money on his defence last summer, his attention has turned to his starting forwards. And Jack Grealish, you would feel, would fit in very well there. Obviously, a different kind of player to ones that are already at Old Trafford. You know, someone who can perhaps play inside as well as on the wing. You know, he's very unpredictable. He creates a lot of chances. He's played very well in a team, like you mentioned, that is struggling at Aston Villa. And Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is not only looking for players who can affect the game on the field, but also characters off the field. And they've been particularly impressed with the way that at such a young age, Jack Grealish has become a leader at Aston Villa. You know, he's already club captain. He takes a lot of responsibility there in a team that are battling relegation, and that's not going to notice at Old Trafford.
So what do you think they'd be looking at price-wise? Because there's one feeling that if Villa are to get relegated, that it would be a cut price, but Villa are said to be not budging at all on their valuation of what you say, of course, is a key player for them.
Yeah. on the transfer window, I think it's important to say that no one really understands what's going to happen with this coronavirus pandemic and the effect that it might have on the transfer market. United, you would feel, are one of the clubs who are best prepared to deal with the financial problems that are going to come about because of the outbreak. But they certainly won't be immune from that. For Aston Villa, Jack Grealish is their star man. He is their big asset. He's come through the academy. If they're going to sell one player for an awful lot of money, it is him, and they certainly won't let him go without a fight. You would feel that if they were to get relegated, that it would be easier for United or another club to come along and sign Jack Grealish, because he is someone with an awful lot of ambition as well. He is an Aston Villa fan. He's from Birmingham, but he wants to go and play at the highest level. He wants to play in the Champions League. He wants to play for England and win big trophies. And he knows that that's more likely at Old Trafford than it is at Aston Villa. If Villa were to get relegated, United would feel they had a chance maybe of getting a more reasonable price. But I think even if Aston Villa stay up, I think United would go back and test Villa's resolve and see how keen they really were to keep Jack Grealish as opposed to getting a big lump sum.
Just touching on what you said there, though, as a player individually, is this the time for him to make that move and make that jump if he is to continue to develop?
I would think so. I mean, in the past, he's come very close to joining Tottenham from Aston Villa, and that move in the end fell through. I think that most people can see that he is a player of such a huge talent that perhaps he's going to have to move on to really show what he can do. That's no disrespect to Aston Villa, because they're obviously a Premier League club, but they aren't going to qualify for the Champions League anytime soon. You wouldn't have thought. They're not going to be challenging for the Premier League or the Champions League. Jack Grealish is that good. He's that good and has proved he's that good in the Premier League this year that he deserves a chance at a bigger club. That may be United. It may be one of the other top six. He's also got international ambitions. He struggled to kind of break into Gareth Southgate's thoughts while at Aston Villa. He's kind of on the verge of those players who you feel might have been in the squad if the March internationals had gone ahead. But he will know that if he's playing for Man United week in, week out and performing particularly well, that Gareth Southgate will find it very hard to leave him out of the England squad. So to match his ambition, he needs to find a club that has that ambition as well. And United is certainly that.
The next player that you've gone for is a young English player that's on the wish list of, it seems, absolutely every top club right now, Jadon Sancho at 20 years old. So why will he pick United over those other clubs?
Well, that is the key question. You've said there that every big club in the world will know all about Jadon Sancho, and that's true. He's been that good for Borussia Dortmund since moving there from Manchester City, that there isn't a club in the world that haven't had an eye on him. For United, they feel that they've got a good chance of getting him. Again, they're not sure about how much the coronavirus pandemic will impact the transfer market, but even with all that stuff going on off the pitch, they do still feel there's a good chance of getting him. He's the type of player that you can build a team around. He fits very clearly into the profile of the player that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer wants at Man United. A young player, he's British, he's proven that he can play at the highest level in the Champions League for Borussia Dortmund. He's done it for England. He is a ready-made fit, really, for what's being built at Old Trafford. There will be an awful lot of competition for his signature. The likes of Barcelona, Real Madrid will both be looking at him. There's been speculation about possibly a move to Chelsea. He was a Chelsea fan when he grew up. Chelsea have got money to spend, and have got players that they want to sign now that their transfer ban is up. We're led to believe that United still head the queue for him, but there's an awful big jump between heading the queue for a player and actually getting that deal over the line. As I say, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will feel confident that they can get Jadon Sancho. They think there's a chance that he may leave in the next transfer window. And if he does leave, United will certainly be front of the line to get him signed up.
A lot of big names with United past as well have had their say on it. Rio Ferdinand has actually said that he'd be worthy of the number 7 shirt. That's a very heavy shirt at United. Would you agree?
It is a heavy shirt, but he is the type of player who could take that on. It has become a little bit of a cursed shirt, I suppose, in recent years. The players that have taken it, whether it's Angel Di Maria, Michael Owen, Antonio Valencia, Memphis Depay, all of them have had their struggles. Ever since Cristiano Ronaldo left, really, that they've struggled really to fill that shirt. It is an iconic shirt at Man United. It is a shirt that some of their best players have worn, and Jadon Sancho is the type of player who you feel could handle that pressure. And pressure does come with it. It proved too much for Angel Di Maria, who came from a huge club at Real Madrid. It proved too much for Alexis Sanchez. But Jadon Sancho is the type of player that looks like these kind of things don't really faze him. You know, he took a huge step when he left Manchester City and went abroad to Borussia Dortmund, a club where he didn't really know anyone. He had to establish himself all over again, and he's done it perfectly. You know, maybe now that it is the right time for him to come back to the Premier League, show what he's learned in Germany, and come back and take the league by storm. And United would be a perfect stage for that, particularly in that number 7 shirt.
Because of everything that's gone on with this coronavirus pandemic, maybe it's too early to say, but would they have to break the transfer record, or their club transfer record, to get their hands on a player like Jadon Sancho?
Yeah, well, we're led to believe that Borussia Dortmund would hold out for around 120 million euros, or at least were doing before the coronavirus pandemic. United and Ed Wood would have been very clear that they don't feel that there will be many, if any, £100 million transfers in the next transfer window. That is what United are saying, looking from an outside point of view. But until this transfer market opens, I'm not sure anyone really knows how it will be affected. United are lucky in the sense that they have quite a strong financial position, and there still is money to spend. Whether they want to go to the point of spending £100 million on one player, you know, it is debatable. I think last summer perhaps they would have spent that, you know, but last summer no one could have predicted what would happen to football and finances within the game. You know, United aren't immune from this pandemic. We've already seen in their latest accounts that they've already lost around between 20 and 25 million, which, you know, even for a club of United's stature is a large amount of money. So there will be money to spend for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. They will still strengthen the squad, but how the coronavirus pandemic will affect transfers and transfer fees, we're just not going to know until it actually starts and gets going.
Well, a trio like this would definitely bring some added firepower to Manchester United, but there's certainly a lot of competition for their signatures too.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.